joining the PBC on NBC Spence versus Bundu conference call. Your host for today, Lou DiBella, will begin.
Thank you, Bert. Thanks very much, everyone, for joining us. This is indeed the conference call for Errol Spence against Leonard Bundu, which is an IBF welterweight world title eliminator. The winner will be the mandatory contender for the title currently held by Kell Brook. So it's a very, very significant fight for boxing purposes. This is PBC on NBC. It'll be at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. The doors and the first bout will begin at 2:30 p.m. from the Ford Amphitheater at Coney Island Boardwalk on Sunday, August 21st. So it's the Ford Amphitheater at Coney Island Boardwalk, Sunday, August 24th, PBC on NBC. At 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time, start time, will follow immediately the Olympic men's gold medal game on NBC. So this is a tremendous opportunity for these two fighters to showcase their abilities, a tremendous opportunity for boxing to be showcased in a prime spot on national TV. This fight card will be 1 hour and will immediately follow the Olympic men's basketball gold medal game. Tickets for the live event start at $35. It's presented by my company and Brooklyn Boxing, so the Barclays Center is involved in helping us promote this event. Tickets are on sale now. They can be purchased online at Ticketmaster.com and at Ford Amphitheater Coney Island.com. That's Ford Amphitheater Coney Island.com. Leonard the Lion Bundu, 33-1-2 with 12 KOs from Florence, Tuscany, Italy. So the land of my ancestors. Leonard knows the Olympics. He represented Italy in the 2000 Sydney Olympics. He turned pro in April 2005, and his only loss was a decision loss to Keith Thurman for the WBA welterweight title in 2014. Other than that, his career record is unblemished. He's won the IBF Mediterranean title, the WBA Intercontinental title, Italian titles, European Union titles, European titles, Commonwealth titles, has a number of signature wins in his career, and has had a very fine career, and is a worthy challenge for young Mr. Spence as he tries to establish himself as a star. Leonard, would you like to say a few words, please?
Yes, I just want to say I'm really happy I'll have another chance to compete for world title again, and I know I'm not gonna be having more chances other than this, so I have to give this all I have. It's gonna be a spectacular fight, nice fight. I know Errol is coming to fight, and I'm coming to fight. I'm coming for the victory. I'm coming more convinced from my experience. The last time I fought Keith Thurman in Las Vegas. Maybe I got caught up in the show business and the hype. And anyway, now I'm more concentrated. Training camp is going well. Everything's going well. So on August 21st, just expect a nice, good fight. The best from both of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonard. And by the way, we're going to be doing there'll be more information released in the next 24 hours. We'll be doing a press conference in New York tomorrow, and we'll be releasing information about the undercard tomorrow. So we're just going to stick with the main event today. And the main event is highlighted by a young man that I've had the pleasure to promote before, Errol the Truth Spence Jr., 20-0 with 17 KOs from DeSoto, Texas. Like Leonard Bundu, Errol is an Olympian. The 26-year-old is a former 2012 U.S. Olympian. He turned pro in 2012, widely regarded as one of the sport's big future stars, has been named Prospect of the Year for 2015 by ESPN and Sports Illustrated. In his last fight, he had a sensational stoppage of Chris Algieri in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. That was his first primetime main event, and it was televised by NBC. So Errol will be returning to NBC on Sunday afternoon, August 21st. So it's my pleasure to bring to you, Errol, the Truth Spence.
I want to thank everybody that joined in the call today, and I'm excited to be fighting back on NBC, fighting back in New York, and especially fighting for the IBF title eliminator. I'd like to thank Bundu for taking this fight, and just look for another spectacular fight come August 21st, another spectacular one-sided performance.
Thank you, Errol. I'm going to open up for questions, and I'm going to have to get off the call early myself, so if there's anyone that happens to have a question for me, which I doubt, but if you do, I'll be on early on, so just get in the queue then early if you have anything for me. But it's really, I know the two fighters that you want to talk to, so I'm going to open it up with questions right now for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. And I'm waiting for callers to join the queue. And my first question is going to go from Dan Raphael from ESPN. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hello, Errol.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Errol. I heard you say in your opening remarks that you were looking forward to another spectacular performance, and I want to ask you about the one fight that Bundu had that he mentioned where he lost, the fight in 2014 where he lost a shutout decision to Keith Thurman. I wonder, when you talk about a spectacular performance, in your mind, does spectacular performance mean a shutout like that where you win every second of every round, or is it just about getting a knockout? Like, how can you be better than what Keith did unless you get the knockout?
I mean, of course, I would want the knockout, but I think I'll do it in I think I'll win in better fashion. With Keith Thurman started. He more was running around the ring and just pop shotting at a point. But with me, I'm just looking for just a spectacular performance. Either I walk him down or go for the knockout. So, hopefully I get the knockout. If it comes, I'm definitely going to take it. But if I have to box, then I'll box him too. But it's going to be, hopefully I have another performance like I did with Chris Algieri.
I was going to ask you about that fight because, like you just mentioned, that was, I guess, what most people would consider a spectacular performance against Algieri. Is that the kind of performance that you look to go back-to-back on? Because, look, most people, Errol, they view you as the best prospect, best, young contender, however you want to phrase it, in boxing right now to many people. And this is going to be the fight that puts you in position to get a title fight. So is it more important to look spectacular like you did against Algieri, or to just win and make sure you get the opportunity to fight for the title?
I think both. I'm a rising star, and of course my stock will rise if I look spectacular against him and get a stoppage, but the main goal is to win, and that's what I'm looking for. If I'm not going to look for the knockout. If I can't get the knockout, if it doesn't just come naturally, then I'll take the win. But that's the main goal overall, is to win.
When you watch Bundu, is there anything that you see in his repertoire that you think could even give you mild problems?
Definitely, Bundu's he's a real good fighter. He's very crafty. Sometimes awkward switches from left hand to right hand, and he varies his punches up too. Bundu's a good fighter. He gave Keith Thurman fits at different points in the fight. So I'm just looking for him to be crafty, try to use his experience against me.
All right, thank you for that, Errol. I wish you good luck, and I have a question for Leonard. Hello, Leonard.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, you mentioned in your opening comments that you were going to be a lot better than you were in the fight that most of the American fans saw, which was the one that you lost against Keith Thurman. And now you're fighting a fighter that most consider to be one of the best young fighters in boxing. How in the world do you go about slowing down the momentum that Errol Spence has right now?
Well, the bigger the fight, the bigger the names, and you get more motivated. These are the fights that I need at my age. I know I won't be having other chances, so I'm gonna give it all I have, and I know I could perform better than what I did with Keith Thurman. And what I like about Errol, that he's coming to fight, and I know people want to see the comparison between my fight with Keith Thurman and the one I'm going to be doing with Errol Spence. But you know, I'm not only coming there to go to 12 full rounds. I'm coming for the victory. So, you know, I've studied Errol. Training camp is going well. I'm coming motivated. I know this is a good opportunity for me to show my skills to the world. And so, you know, I'm coming convinced, and let's see what happens. So I know I have something in me. I have something that people haven't seen yet. So I'll be putting everything on that night on August 21st.
All right, Leonard, thank you for your time. Thank you, Errol. Thank you. Good luck to you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Mitch Aberson from ringtv.com. Please go ahead.
Thanks, everybody. Hey, Errol. How you doing today?
What's up?
Hey, not much. Just, Errol, I'm curious. This fight's going to be for the opportunity to face Kell Brook. And as you know, Kell Brook is facing Gennady Golovkin on September 10th. I'm just curious, what do you think of that matchup between Kell Brook and Golovkin? And are you surprised that Brook took that fight?
Well, I think everybody's surprised that Kell Brook took that fight. You know, he's moving up to 160 to fight Triple G, a very, you know, hard puncher, knockout artist. You know, Triple G, you know, been heard to knock out, you know, heavyweights in the gym. So for him to move up to take that fight, it takes a lot of guts, and you know, I applaud him on it. But you know, I haven't really gave him too much thought. You know, he was on my mind because he had the IBF belt. He was fighting at 147. So right now, he's not on my mind at all.
Errol, do you give Brook any chance in that fight, or do you think Golovkin's going to knock him out like he's knocked out most of his other opponents?
I think Triple G will knock him out, but you know, I give Kell Brook a chance. I mean, he's fighting in the UK, so I mean, who knows if it's a close fight, if it goes the distance. You know, he could get the nod, but if I were to bet on it, I had Triple G for a knockout.
Okay, I think most people are seeing the fight that way. Yeah, Errol, have you heard any or gotten any indication of what Brook might do? Because obviously he's moving up. You know, there's a chance he might move to junior middleweight and then vacate his welterweight title. Have you gotten any indications or heard anything about what his future plans are regarding that IBF title?
No, it's something I haven't asked. Haven't gave any thought since I got the Bundu fight. You know, I can't look over Bundu. Bundu's an experienced fighter. You know, been a lot of fights and has a lot of good tools. So I can't disrespect, you know, Bundu and look over him, and then I look over him and end up, you know, not looking good or losing, whatever, and then I'm not fighting for the IBF title. So I take one fight at a time, fight Bundu, then I worry about, you know, the IBF title. And the IBF is real good of, you know, enforcing their rules. So you know, I'm not worried about that at all. But it's one fight at a time.
I'm sorry, Errol, last thing. You were talking before about Keith Thurman and just the way that Keith fought against Bundu. And I'm wondering, are you at the point now in your career where you're watching other welterweights, you're watching Thurman against Porter, you're watching just other highly ranked guys, and when you fight, you're now fighting to, I guess, to outdo, you know, those other performances that you've seen?
I study boxing. I've been watching these guys. You know, I'm not one of them dudes who's gonna lie and say I never watched him, I never watched that guy. I've been watching these guys since I turned pro, since I was an amateur. I mean, you know, watching these guys on YouTube and watching their fights and stuff like that. So I'm real familiar, you know, with everybody at 147, and not even people at 147, 140, 135, 130. I'm a boxing fan overall, so I don't mind sitting down watching a fight on YouTube or watching it on TV. I watch boxing all the time.
But are you at the point now, Errol, where whenever you fight, you're trying to outdo other performances that you might have seen from other top welterweights?
Oh, definitely. That's been the motive to outdo another welterweight. I think that's the ultimate goal. It makes you look better when Keith Thurman or Manny Pacquiao or Amir Khan fought this guy and you're fighting him. You want to look better than they did and put on a better performance. So, that's definitely one of the motives when I go into a fight and fighting a similar opponent.
Thanks, Errol. I have one question for Leonard Bundu. Hey, Leonard, how are you?
Hello.
Good. I'm curious, when you watch Errol Spence and the way he fights, what weaknesses, if any, do you see in his game?
Weaknesses, I don't know. I have to test him out in the ring. I don't know. Maybe I see. He sees the guy that comes forward. He throws heavy punches, and I don't know. He has to check on the maybe it's Spence. I don't know. We have to see him check his chin. Of course, there are other things that I looked upon, and I know he has few weaknesses, but we're working on them. And come fight night, we'll try to discover them and show the world what's wrong or good with him.
Yeah. Do you think that because he hasn't, you mentioned his chin, that his chin hasn't been tested, do you think that might be something that you could exploit? Maybe he hasn't taken a hard punch yet, and it's not, we don't really know how he might react. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, of course, I'm not a big puncher, but, I'm a big volume puncher, so, we have to see how he reacts. It might be good or not, but anyway, we're not just relying on that, of course. We're going to go and try to see how he does with the distance and other things. He's a very complete boxer, but I think he has to be fully tested, and I'm here for that.
All right, thanks. Thank you. Thanks for that, and good luck, guys. Appreciate it.
Our next question is going to come from Keith Eidig from The Record. Please go ahead.
Yes, my question is for Errol. Errol, I was just wondering if you noticed anything in the Keith Thurman Bundu fight that Bundu did to Thurman to make him fight the way that he did, without giving away any of your own strategy. And what could you do to combat those types of things?
We do a few things, but I can't really say it without giving things away. So, we'll find out fight night, I guess.
You mentioned earlier in the call that you thought Thurman did a lot of running in that fight. Do you think that Bundu hurt him at some point, or why do you think that was?
I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to win. Keith Thurman not really at the point where he just has to put on a spectacular performance every time out. Maybe he just thought, it was easier just to outpoint him and just win. So I don't know what was going on in his head, but I'm sure Bundu hurt him a couple of times. It happens. It's a boxing match.
How do you feel, and I don't mean stylistically, but how do you feel Bundu compares to Chris Algieri in terms of talent level and how much trouble he might be able to give you in comparison to what Algieri did?
They're different fighters. Chris Algieri and Bundu, they're way different fighters. Has different styles, and Chris Algieri is more of a Chris Algieri is more of a pure boxer who just recently tried to plant his feet and try to fight a little bit. You know, Bundu, he can move, he can box, he can come forward too. I think Bundu has more to his arsenal than Chris Algieri.
Okay. And you don't expect Bundu to do what Chris tried to do with you, which obviously failed in terms of trying to bang with you, right?
I think at some point he'll try that. Bundu, he switches. Sometimes try to box, sometimes try to bang. He varies it up. So I think at some point, he'll try his luck.
If I could shift gears for a second here, Errol, I was just wondering, the consensus seems to be that being an American Olympian doesn't hold as much value today as it did, maybe 20 years ago, certainly 30, 40 years ago. But it's obviously been beneficial to you. So I was just wondering what your perspective on that is and how much you think it helps people in terms of their promotional value as professionals, and also maybe helps you, if you have a long, extended amateur career like that, to be ready for the professionals game, which is very different, obviously.
I think being an Olympian helps you out a lot, especially the experience part, fighting a lot of international fighters, going overseas, fighting in other fighters' background, not knowing who you're going to fight until the morning of the fight, and just getting that experience, getting different styles under your belt, and fighting in different venues and different places around the world, fighting on those different types of stages. And, of course, the Olympics is the biggest stage you can fight in. And just having that under my belt, getting me ready for, big fights like this. And being an Olympian doesn't carry as much weight as it used to. Like, a lot of those guys, they were 13, 14-0 fighting for world titles and stuff like that, not having to go through, a title eliminator and things like that we had to go through. But, it's been good, and, just being branded Olympian, that means a lot.
When you turned pro, and obviously you've had very good representation and powerful representation since you turned pro, but did you think it would hold more weight when you turned pro, or was it about the same as you expected?
Oh, what will hold more weight?
I'm sorry?
Say the question again. Say the question again.
Yeah, I was just wondering, when you actually turned pro, did being an Olympian, and you were obviously on television a lot and that kind of stuff, did it help you as much in terms of, maybe the promotional deal that you got, or, obviously you're with Al the whole time and everything, but did it help you as much as you thought it would, or less, or about the same, or how do you view that?
I think it helped more being an Olympian. Just casual, people, Americans, they find it real cool and, find it great and, awesome that you're Olympian. To me, that's a great thing to represent my country and to fight overseas, for a gold medal, which I didn't get, which I wanted. But just being an Olympian, it helped me out a lot, just branding me as an Olympian and just knowing that, when you're Olympian, you're the cream of the crop in your country. You're the top guy. You beat all these, top prospects. Like most of the top prospects in today's game, I fought them in the amateurs, and I beat them. We was in Olympic trials, and we fought each other, and I came out on top. So, being an Olympian means you're the cream of the crop in your country.
I just have one last question for you, Errol. I was just wondering, I know you're obviously focused on your own training camp and your own career and everything, but are there any Olympic fighters on the United States team this year that you're very familiar with, or that you would tell people to keep an eye on in particular?
Well, of course, Rau'shee Warren just won a world title. I'm looking for him to defend it soon. Joseph Diaz, another great fighter who just fought on HBO Latino. They can really fight. Basically everybody, Rau'shee, Marcus Brown, basically everybody. It's a lot of talent on this team, and I'm looking for all of us to fight for world titles real soon, and do what Rau'shee Warren just did.
Okay. I appreciate your response, Errol, but what I meant was the kids that are going to fight in the upcoming Olympics. Do you know any of them or familiar with any of them?
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for, Shakur Stevenson. That kid, he's talented. He's a gold medal favorite. Of course, Clarissa Shields. She can fight. She's real good. She's already a Olympic gold medalist and looking to repeat. We got a good team that's coming out. And they're young, they're fast, and they're motivated to win. And the scoring system is different now too. So looking for a lot of them to bring home gold medals.
Stevenson is from Newark, New Jersey, and I'm from New Jersey as well. I was just wondering, is he the kid that maybe has the most talent on the team that you've seen so far?
I think so. I watch him I watch a couple of his fights on YouTube. That he can fight. Very talented, very skilled. Boxing IQ is very high, and you can't. Other than Clarissa Shields, Shakur Stevenson is the most talented boxer on their team.
Great, Errol. Thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Lim Satterfield from Premier Boxing. Please go ahead.
Hey, guys. Thanks a lot. Errol, you there?
What up, Lim?
Hey, buddy. How you doing? Okay, so
doing great.
That's good. So LaGreco goes the distance with Sean Porter, KO5, Errol Spence. Algieri goes the distance with Manny Pacquiao, KO5, Errol Spence. Bundu goes a different distance with Keith Thurman. Are we seeing a pattern here?
I guess so, but I can't call it. Just like in those fights, I was never the one to call the knockout, because I don't want to. If you end up forcing the knockout, you end up looking bad, and so I'm not gonna go force the knockout. If it comes, it comes. If it don't, hey, cool. It don't, I'll settle for the win. But if it comes, then I'll take it.
When you go back and you look at those two fights, though, you didn't necessarily consciously go for the knockout, but your intensity level was different for those fights, I thought, than any other fight. I can't help but think that it had something to do with the fact that they had a connection to champions in the division who were well known. Just a product of the way you fight, do you feel that if you do what you think you're going to do and what you're working on, that the knockout will come? I'm not saying you're going for the knockout, but if you do what you think you're going to do, knowing what he does, do you expect to get the knockout?
Oh, definitely. I think my intensity raises when as the fight goes on, and I definitely think if everything goes well and I catch my rhythm, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do in the ring, listen to my coach and everything. I think knockout will come, but it won't be forced at all.
All right, and then my last question for you, and then I have one for Lou, if he's still on the line. After you beat Algieri, Lou was at the podium, and he said, after Keith Thurman and Porter fought, and from here on out, every champion is going to have to talk about you. But they seem to find a way to backpedal and not talk about you. Do you notice that, or do you see it the way I see it, or and how long do you think that can go on?
It won't go on long. It's really just a matter of time. I'm fighting for a title eliminator right now. After that, fight for a world title. Then, then now what can they say? Everybody got to fight. It's time to unify the titles. And, the ultimate goal is to become undisputed, welterweight champion. So, I see it like you see it, but at the end of the day, they're going to have to fight.
All right. Lou, are you still on the line? I guess not. Okay.
I think he dropped out.
Okay, those are all my questions. Hey, listen, Errol, good luck in the fight. Leonard, good luck in the fight.
Thanks.
Our next question is going to come from Jake Donovan from theboxingscene.com. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Leonard, my first question is for you. I just wanted to know where you would rank Errol Spence compared to basically the best opponents you've faced to date. And including when you fought.
Can you repeat? The line's not clear.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to know where you would rank Errol Spence compared to the best opponents you've faced so far, and including Keith Thurman at the time you fought him, not necessarily Keith Thurman of today.
So, I'm really sorry, but I can't. The line's really messed up.
Okay, can you hear me clear now?
Hello. Yes. Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to know where you would rank Errol Spence compared to all of the opponents you faced today, basically.
Well, I think he's at the top. He's one of the best. I mean, of course, I compare him, at the level with Keith Thurman, but he has to be proven, and I'm here to see about that. Of course, he's one of the toughest guys, of course, I'll ever fight.
Okay. You had a nice run of wins going into the fight with Keith Thurman. Do you feel like this fight, there's more motivation? I mean, more so because you haven't had those big wins going into this fight. Plus, most fans kind of remember you from that fight. Do you feel like there's more motivation to kind of show the world there's a lot more to you than what they've seen so far?
Of course, there's a lot more motivation. This is my second chance to come onto a world team, and the first time maybe I was a little bit caught in the hype and all the it was my biggest fight. But now I know the situation. I know how it is. I know how to take control of the situation, and so I think I can showcase my skills, and I've been working hard, and I feel good and strong, and so I can I'm playing all my cards, and I think I'll give it all I have and try and do a good nice fight.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Leonard. I wish you best of luck. And then Errol, I have a couple questions for you. Just how much and just what kind of turnout you're expecting from friends and family that you do have back here.
Can you say it again?
I just wanted to know how much family you still have that you keep in touch with back in New York, and what kind of turnout you're expecting from them.
I'm expecting a big turnout, just like Chris Algieri fight. I have a lot of family in New York. Most of my family, still lives in New York.
Okay.
I'm expecting a big turnout from both sides, my mom and my dad's side.
Okay, so does it mean that much more to you that you're becoming the face of NBC, and also this is your second straight fight now in Brooklyn. I think your third or fourth fight overall in Brooklyn. So does it mean more to you that, you're kind of becoming the face of boxing out here?
Oh, definitely. It means a lot to me, too, to be fighting in front of my family. A lot of them had the money to come see me fight when I fight in Vegas or, Texas or somewhere else. So just to be able to fight in front of my family and, fight in front of New York, where I think a lot of fans from New York, they're organic, they're real fans, they're real boxing fans in New York, instead of a place like Vegas where, people just show up. So, it's great. I'm excited to be fighting in New York.
Okay. And then I was actually looking back through my notes. Today is actually the 4-year anniversary of when you got robbed in a fight, and then they overturned the verdict and allowed you to continue on in the Olympics. I just wanted to, I know that was a horrible, time for the U.S. team as far as not getting a medal, but what was your fondest memory of the 2012 Olympics?
Just the whole experience. I take nothing back. It was great. Just the whole media coverage and fighting in front of those great fans and on TV representing my country and being in the Olympic Village and getting to meet, these great athletes that I see on TV and been watching on TV since I was a kid. Get to see LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Russell Westbrook, the Serena sisters, Usain Bolt, just see all these great athletes and just know that I was a part of that and I'm an Olympian just like them. So it was the whole ceremony and everything. It was just a whole great experience overall, and once in a lifetime and something I'll never forget.
Thank you so much, Earl. I appreciate that, and best of luck later this month.
Thank you.
You got it.
Our last question is going to come from Eddie Goldman from No Holds Bar. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. First question for Errol. Errol, do you consider Leonard Bundu to be your best and toughest opponent so far as a pro?
Yeah, definitely. Of course, they always give me that answer, and I say, you have to ask me that after the fight. But of course, Bundu is a very tough fighter, very durable fighter, and always from the fights I've seen, he always comes to fight. So that's a yes to your answer.
And how much do you focus on this fight, and how much do you focus on future fights, since this is a title eliminator? In other words, do you mainly just focus getting done with this one and winning this one, or do you have an eye on the future as well?
I don't have an eye on the future. I think my future, winning this fight, my future is already set in stone. So I'm locked into this fight. Once I get an opponent, I'm locked into him. I'm locked into Bundu. This is a title eliminator, so I'm not worried about the future because I know what comes after this is a world title fight. So regardless of if Kell Brooks do vacate or he goes back down, regardless, I'm fighting the world title. So my main focus, 120%, is on Bundu in the fight August 21st.
And do you think, how much of a factor do you think your height and reach advantage is going to be in this fight?
It always plays a factor, but there's not something I'm really worried about. But I mean, it always plays a factor that to have the height and the reach advantage. I mean, it could play a disadvantage. So, but we're practicing for everything. We're not just practicing down the outside. Practicing for inside fight. Practicing for a rough fight. Practicing for a dirty fight. Practicing the box. But basically all of the above. Not just working on one thing.
Okay, and Leonard, you've discussed that this is what you feel is your last chance for a title eliminator to go for a title, and you know that this is being fought in the U.S. It's on NBC in the U.S. and right after the Olympics end. And Errol, of course, being a former U.S. Olympian. How much you're sort of like a road warrior, with apologies to Glenn Johnson on that, but how much does all this affect you in terms of the way this fight has been organized?
For me, like I said before, it's a big motivation. I'm fighting a world level fighter, and it's something that just keeps me going on, and that will inevitably get the best out of me. So for me, big motivation, big fight, and on August 21st is going to be a good fight. I think our styles will make a good fight, and so nothing. It's big motivation.
You fought a lot in Italy, where you currently been living, and you fought in other countries as well. How do you see the atmosphere in a fight in Italy and other countries comparing to that of the United States?
Oh well, in Italy, boxing is not so mainstream, so it's kind of different. When I fought in England and better in Las Vegas, it was something tremendous. It was something that actually helps you to get you more motivated, like I said before. So I mean, it's really big. You can feel that the people and it's a big show. You know, people want to see it, and it's more followed, so you get more courage and motivation to do your job. You know, it's something. It's my passion to box. I've been boxing for a lot of years, and it's good to be rewarded like that with a good spectacular and crowd and show business around it. So of course, it's, you know, I think dreams of all boxers fighting outside of the U.S. is to come to the U.S. and you know, get what they deserve. So you know, for me, coming here again to New York, it's fantastic. I'm blessed.
And does anybody want to make a prediction, either Errol or Leonard?
I'll win, but you know, I don't know how I'm gonna win, but I'm gonna win. I'm gonna look spectacular doing it.
Okay, and Leonard, any prediction?
What I'm gonna say is, don't overlook me. Don't overlook me. All of you. I think I'm getting more respect from Errol than the rest of you. So don't overlook me. You might be in for a big surprise August 21st.
Thank you. Good luck to everybody. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. That concludes the call. Again, NBC or PBC on NBC, 5 p.m. Eastern start. Doors open at 2:30. Tickets are on sale now. They start at just $35. It can be purchased through Ticketmaster.com, Ford Amphitheater, ConeyIsland.com. Thanks, everybody. Hope to see you there.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining. This completes your conference call. You may all disconnect and have a great day.